Hi. Okay. Hello. I am going to test my voice. This is video game story hour. I'm a little under the weather today. I think I said that last week too. When you have young kids, you are under the weather in some capacity almost all the darn time. Um, I am, as a result, failure to load module. I can't load the chat. So who knows what's going to happen there? Show viewers list. Maybe that works. I don't know. Looks like let's go back into chat. Close viewers list. Oh, I can't see it. Anyway, I'm going to read and there we go. We'll see if my voice stays with me. I'm Nick, and I am trying to do this every week where I do some light reading to go through video game manuals through antiquity and the modern era. Antiquity today is the Sony PlayStation and the Sega Saturn. And I have two different things. I was going to potentially add a third if we have time. I have a quick shout out to the folks at Digital Eclipse for putting together what is already an incredible experience in the Llamasoft Jeff Minter story. Their second, excuse me, ay caramba, this is going to be an interesting one. Their second Gold Master series. It is fantastic, and boy, oh boy, are some of those manuals involved out of control. There is a game about uh, lawn mowing called Hover Bovver that is incredible, and seems to be a game about being English. And so I will potentially read through that if we have time today. I don't know if the chat is even working, or it just says it's failed to load. So I don't know what the deal is here, but we will see, and we will go from there. And I apologize sincerely if the chatting does not work today. I have not had a chance to double check that. So let's go ahead and you know what? My chat failed to load module. I wonder. Nope. All right, it's working. I can at least see it here on the screen over here. So let's go ahead. I don't know what that means. Failed to load module, but I see you, Chris. Thank you for reaching out and saying hello. We are gonna read Mobile Light Force on the Sony PlayStation. Now, you might look at Mobile Light Force and say, "Hey, this is a Charlie's Angels type game." Okay, I don't know what that means exactly from a video game standpoint, but clearly they saw the directed films in the late 90s and early 2000s and said, you know what? This is a Charlie's Angels era. Let's make a Charlie's Angels game. But instead of making a Charlie's Angels game, what if we took a game that is not even close to Charlie's Angels, that is actually Gunbird, and we'll make it a Charlie's Angels game? And they said, sure. How do we make a Charlie's Angels game? And they said, we don't do anything at all to Gunbird, and we give it a Charlie's Angels cover and do absolutely nothing else to it. So what they've done here is, I think, quite special. The back of the box is pretty cool, just so you know. So it is a shmup. It's actually quite a fun game. But I will give you a quick, if I can find the Dreamcast, if I can find my Gunbird 2. Here is Mobile Light Force, and here is essentially the same game, the sequel, Gunbird 2. So you can get a sense of the different sort of vibe between the two of them. And this is why we love the Dreamcast so much. They knew, hey, our players are weird. They're going to be into Gunbird. Anyway, Mobile Light Force. The back of the box says, uncover the magic mirror. That's definitely a Charlie's Angels esque thing. If I've ever heard it, there's just four bullets. Use your special attacks. Launch your bombs. The most ambitious will prevail. And keep your enemies from discovering the mirror. Um, I'm sold. I don't know how effective it is for everyone else, but you can see in here By the time that this game came out, you could get Mobile Light Force 2, which I can only assume, and I don't know this for sure, I can only assume, excuse me, that that was Gunbird 2. So hopefully it was localized in the same way that this one is. Excuse me. So I'll read the story. The story takes place in the beginning of this century in Europe, when humans finally figured out how to fly. That's my understanding of the history. At that time, many people searched for the magical mirror Atlar, which claims to make any wish of the owner come true. This mirror was stolen many years before from the king's grave, and nobody knows where it may be. As time passed and technology and science had advanced, people forgot about the existence of this magical mirror. So it seemed. There's a little intrigue. A French archaeologist found a piece of the mirror with an inscription that explains how the mirror will make your wish come true. 5 adventurers, each with their own wishes and dreams, set out to look for the mirror. With the ability to soar in the sky, they all think they have the upper hand. But what they don't know is that another big organization is also after the same mirror. So the Charlie's Angels have to go find the mirror. Um, and otherwise, the rest of this just sort of tells you how to play the game. But I did choose it because it tells you a little bit about the characters, and I'm impressed because, so far as I can tell, they just did a straight like localization. They just like were basically like, hey, here's what the game is like in Japan. We are going to go ahead and just do that here. Um, I would wonder if there was any argument at the publisher about the road to take on this front. And maybe the marketing team won out with, hey, let's do something for the American audience here. And then I don't know, fans of the original game won out with the story stuff inside. The characters are Marion, a powerful magic user. Marion is an extremely energetic girl. She's an inexperienced wind magic user that uses a broom to fly. She has a cute face, but is very stubborn and probably up to something again. She and her rabbit friend Bomb Bomb will go on an adventure looking for the legendary magical mirror. She's born in England and she's 13. Um, Not sure which one of those she is here, but the next one is Yan Nang, presumably a female fighter, but is not quite certain that she's even human. She has the ability to ride a cloud. Small body frame, but a very experienced fighter who's always looking to fight enemies who are stronger than she is. There are many mysteries about this person. Some say she's actually a monkey. She's born in China and her age is question mark. Her special attack is fighting stick hell attack. Then we have the MLF 2000. An attack robot capable of flying, he was developed by the Russian military. He uses a central rocket attack. Oh, excuse me, uses a central rocket as a central axis that enables him to do circular attacks. Always receiving orders from the military, and this time he's ordered to go find the magic mirror. But lately, it seems like he's starting to think on his own. He was born in Russia and he's 6 months old, and his bomb, so they call him MLF 2000, but his bomb is called the MILF 2000 Buster. So we've got the MILF 2000 Buster. Um, yeah, and you're right. We said this earlier. Big organizations, there's a big organization after them. The big organizations are always evil. It seems to be proven every day. Yeah, so the MILF 2000 Buster, and this was, when was this game out? 2003. Jesus, 2003. This is a late PlayStation game. So 2003. So yes, this would have been after American Pie. So yeah, the MILF 2000 Buster. Then we got John Suarez. Uh, I'm still thinking about the MILF 2000 Buster. After losing his wife 40 years ago, he's been working nonstop as a carpenter. He is extremely well built and will go anywhere for adventure. He rides his helicopter that he built himself. Using his muscles and his strength, he flies to places unimaginable. Um, I've been trying to go to the gym more often and eat better, so I'm trying to do the same thing. And my goal is to also fly to places unimaginable. Um, Using his muscles and his strength. He was born in Japan and he's 60. That's John Suarez. Jason Last, a scientist who has a degree in archaeology and is also a very cool adventurer. After hearing about the legendary magical mirror, he could not keep himself from going out to look for it. He built a rocket pack that lets him fly. He's German and he's 28, and his bomb is a scientifically formulated bomb. Uh, Finally, Rouge, Rouge, president of the large company Pacusta. He has a lot of ambition and beauty. Oh, she has a lot of ambition and beauty. She uses her elite employees to organize Trump, an underground gang. She heard about the legendary mirror and was the first to go look for it. However, she is also very clumsy. So, I have never read this before. I just took a quick glance. I never read the manuals before I do this. So this is kind of first glance for me. What we have learned here in this is one, that the MLF 2000's bomb is called the MILF 2000 Buster, and Rouge, who is the president of a large company, uses her elite employees to organize a group that they call Trump, which is just TRUMP, an underground gang. So, I guess I don't really know what to say other than this is very good stuff. She was born in England and she is 26. There is a lot going on here. I think that is the key to video game manuals, maybe specifically of this era. The 32, maybe the 16 to 32 64-bit era a little bit. There's a lot going on in here and I for one am I'm here for it. I think it's fantastic. So, that's what we got. There's not a lot of credits in here, although this kind of an interesting. Oh, there's two more names. Sorry, there's two more names. There's Claude, Cload, Claude, who's from France. He's 34, young guy, manager of one of the Pacusta factories. He's tall and built like a rock, but he's a very sensitive man. Many workers are loyal to him, but people say that even his brain is pure muscle. In the Trump organization, he's a pilot and is also a good fighter with more than 10 special moves, which I like. And then there's Ace, the leader of the development of the Pacusta Empire. He has superior knowledge and an exploding personality. He's in charge of the weapons department in the Trump organization. Actually, he was schoolmates with Jason. Actually, he was schoolmates with Jason Last and is one of his biggest rivals. As you can see, Ace gets mad very easily. There's kind of a leap there. I'm not sure that was proven there, but I believe it. Ace. So Ace, Claude, and Rouge are members of the Trump organization. There are almost no. Oh my God! I had a realization. There are almost no credits here. There are a few. However, the developer is Sikio, the shmup developer. I'm going to read some names from the credits, and you're going to tell me if maybe those names have appeared somewhere else in this document. The producer is John H.B. Suarez. If I recall correctly, yes, that's right. John Suarez is one of the characters who uses his muscle and strength to fly places unimaginable. The associate producer is Santos Gonzalez, who I don't see in here. QA, Tamara Carrion, Renee Zalata, Winter Catlin, Daryl Newman, and oh, wait, Jason Last, who is a scientist in the game and has a degree in archaeology and is also a very cool adventurer. So, two members of the the XS game, the publisher for this, are also in there. So that's one way to do it. Get your name in the game when you get to write the manual. I should have thought of that when I wrote the manual for Intellivision Lives on the Nintendo DS. So good for them. I also will always like a game where there are almost no credits except for the QA team, basically. So that was Mobile Light Force. Now, in the interest of leveraging the fact that my throat hasn't completely given out, and that I can feel a coughing fit coming on, I'm going to go ahead and move right on to book book number two, story number two, Sega Saturn's very own Fighting Vipers. And this one I did notice doesn't actually have a story section in it, but it does have character bios. So I feel like in a fighting game, character bios are as good as gold. We will see what Sega in its Saturn era has to say about the characters in Fighting Vipers. So let's go ahead. There is a story mode. I'm wrong. Let's see. This is what happens when you don't read it beforehand. Fighting Vipers. Hyper adrenal combatants in full body armor battling night and day in back alley rings. Only such young urban warriors as these have earned the right to be called Vipers. Now, in Armstone City, the mayor has formally announced a fighting tournament on a grand scale, with the final bout to be held atop the staggering City Tower in the center of town. With City Tower as their ultimate goal, 8 young Vipers start down the path to victory, a path which only one will see to the end. I don't remember that they die in this. Um, this manual is thick. This manual has like 30 pages, which I love. So we'll move right on through. There's a lot of text in this bad boy. You can see there's a lot of writing about everything in here. Going through the Jeff Minter Goldmaster last night a bit, I was struck by just how much explaining had to get done in the manuals for games back then. Even for games that were relatively simple and straightforward, but what it taught me while I was reading was that the rules of games, the language of games in that era, Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, were just not nailed down. And so everybody, you had to occasionally just had things explained to you in lots and lots of detail. Um, and I thought it was pretty cool. Some good manuals in there. As I said at the beginning, I will one of these days read a little bit of those. Maybe not today because my throat is gone. And we have a lot of people to read about in Fighting Vipers, a game that Sega, if you want your million billion selling game, if you want your big budget game, this is the one. Fighting Vipers. Let's make Fighting Vipers 3 and let's do it. We've got Grace. Was born on November 17th. Let's see if we have any birthdays today, like when we discovered that Ken or Blanca were born on the day. She's 19. She's 128 pounds and 5'10". She is a fashion model who likes pasta and dislikes potatoes. Grace had her dreams of becoming a professional figure skater broken in high school when her coach betrayed her. Not sure how. Now she makes her living as a fashion model. She may look cold and distant, but the fire of her rage blazes in the heat of the fight. Now check out her attacks. This book is sick. There's so many attacks there. You can do anything in this game. Oh my god, there's a whole second page. There's an entire second page of her attacks right there. Now we've got Bon. He was born on 8/25. He's 17. He's 194 and 6'1". He likes ramen and dislikes Western food. Bon's father abandoned him and his mother when he was still a baby. Now declaring himself to be Genghis Khan III, Bon has set off across the ocean to prove himself to the father he's never met. But will his long journey find an end in Armstone City? It's a tragic story. Then we've got Raxel. Raxel. Raxel was born on February 26th, so happy belated to you, Raxel. 18, big one, big year. 119, 5'10 is a thin boy. He likes veggies and dislikes meat. Maybe explains why he is so thin. Raxel is the guitarist. Raxel is the guitarist and vocalist for the band Death Crunch. Female fans are drawn to his dark aesthetic appeal. Raxel dropped out of high school and left home after a fight with his father, who happens to be an Armstone city councilman. This this sinewy narcissist uh, is fighting for fame and glory. Um, and I do apologize. I can't quite see the chat, so I am not trying to ignore anything here. But I just can't see. So apologies for the next round. I promise that I'll make sure that this thing is working. Failed to load module, and it is showing up a little bit on the screen, but it's off, so I can't quite see it. So please bear with me there, and I am sending my apologies for not responding and stuff. I love chatting, and I'm not ignoring. Uh, Hey, all right, there you go. I see that one. I'll get, hey, how's it going? Welcome. Thanks for popping in. We are in the middle of fighting vipers, and there's a lot going on in the world of fighting vipers. We got Tokyo. Tokyo is a dude who was born on April the 19th. He's 16. There's a lot of underage fighters in this. Um, Occupation, part-time jobs. His hobby is games, specifically Virtua Fighter. He likes sushi and dislikes chicken. Tokyo was brought up in the strict environment of a kabuki actor's household, but when he turned 14, he joined the local gang Black Thunder. He quickly rose to become their leader, but left after the death of one of the members. This lone wolf looks to the Vipers to provide him with new challenges and thrills. Tokyo seems like a tough, intense dude. Sandman. He's my main. This is my favorite guy. He was born. We missed it. He was born on March 3rd. His age is question mark, but happy belated birthday. He weighs 264 pounds and is 5'11. His occupation is also question mark. He's a man of mystery. His hobby is custom bikes. He likes sweets and he dislikes garlic. Is he a vampire? No age. He dislikes garlic and nobody knows what he does. Nobody knows much about him, and he isn't saying. The only thing for sure is that he rolled up to the tournament on a big custom hog, and he has a strange fascination with the number 3. Sandman lets his fists do the rest of the talking for him. He too has 2 complete pages of fighting moves. Final overdrive, close range, opponent standing, forward, down, back, left, punch and D, and then forward and then left and punch and D. Jeez Louise. This is a complicated game. If you have the most recent Yakuza game, Like a Dragon, The Man Who Erased His Name, I believe that you can play Fighting Vipers 2, which was never brought out here in the West and on consoles, and it is quite a good game. In fact, I would say it's a hell of a game. Then we got Jane. Jane was born 8/18, August 18th. She is 18, which means that she was born in 2006. Um, she is a construction worker. Her hobby is physical training. She likes beefsteak, and she doesn't dislike anything. So, Jane always wanted to join the Navy, and she trained all through high school to achieve that dream. Unfortunately, she tends to lose her cool in fights, and she was discharged after injuring a fellow seaman in training. Now she's working subway construction, but she hasn't given up on her dream. Uh, she wants to she wants to show the world just how tough she is. Great question in the chat. Any blood types listed? No, there are no blood types listed. You get sex, you get birthday, age, weight, height, hometown. I've been skipping hometown because almost all of them seem to be coming from Armstone City. Uh, Occupation, hobby, likes and dislikes. So no. And I will say they give you their age, but they don't commit as hard as they did in the Street Fighter 2 manual, where they tell you the specific year that they were born as well. So you get to learn that E Honda is like 73 years old. So sadly, we don't know about that. But we do get to know about Candy. Hi, Candy. Candy is born on September 3rd and she's 16. Her weight is a secret. You love that in these manuals. And her height is 5'3". She is also from Armstone City. She's a fashion school student. Her hobby is making clothes. I wonder actually if the Japanese version has blood type. Do I? Shoot, no. I thought maybe I had the Japanese copy of Fighting Vipers 2 here. I don't. Maybe for the show, I'll have to buy it. Um, she likes strawberry cheesecake cream, ice cream, strawberry cheesecake ice cream, excuse me. And she dislikes carrots. Candy is studying to be a fashion designer. She's usually quiet and shy, but when she puts on the rubber dress she made herself, watch out. She's in this tournament to promote her original fashion line. So we got a business tycoon here. Um, yeah, I like the weight is being secret part too. Now we've got Picky. Picky. Picky's a dude who was born on April 13th. I thought we had one. April 13th. Just a month away. Age 14, 110 pounds and 5'4". Um, Armstone City. Junior high student who's a skateboarder and who likes potato chips and dislikes tomatoes. Picky is a typical junior high school skate rat. He started skating to impress his first love, Catherine, but here in Armstone, fighting in the tournament seems to be more popular than thrashing. So, Picky took his board to try his luck as the youngest Viper. Again, I want to know about the rules governing age in these battles because I don't think that's legit. And we got one more, Mauler. Mauler, who is a question mark face. You don't know who he is, so Mahler is mysterious. But they give you a lot of information about him. He's a dude who was born on January 20th. He's 20 years old. He weighs 158 pounds and is 6 feet tall. He's from Armstone City, if you wouldn't believe it. His occupation is question mark. So maybe he's a day trader or something. He likes windsurfing, and he eats Mexican food and doesn't like seafood. So he is clad in poisonous snakeskin armor. It's dangerous. Mahler seems to have a score to settle with the mayor of Armstone, but nobody knows why he's entered the Vipers tournament. He hasn't even bothered to officially register his name. So that's Mahler. And I think he seems like a scary guy. I don't know if this is Mahler. I think this is Mahler. They show him a minute later. They're like, I don't know what he looks like. And then a page later, there he is. He's got kind of a cool thing on his face, cool thing on his head. I, for one, wouldn't want to fight him. Um, 20 seems young. I'm just gonna say for like a final boss, 20 seems young. I have a hard time. No offense to anybody listening who's 20, but that seems you got to have a few more years on you before you seem real scary to me. But the producers, the producer is Steve Hutchins. I'm guessing all of these are Sega of America people. It doesn't actually specify. But they're doing some credit taking and taking all the credit. Um, Product manager is Seth Gerson. The assistant localization producer was Osamu Shibayama. Mike, I'm going to read these just in case anybody here knows who these folks are. God, Mike Tyson was 19 in Punch Out. Jeez Louise. All right. I take it back. I'm sorry, Mahler. I'm sorry, Mahler. In that case, Mahler is over the hill. And so we need a younger guy. We need someone 19, 21. Okay. So Mahler's almost there. 21 is insane. Jeez Louise, really? Mike Tyson in my mind is like perpetually like 35. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe just because I was a kid and every adult was maybe 35. But let's see who else we got. Marketing manager Ann Mollering, production manager Eileen Stackman. The art director was Eric Smith, and the art designers were Scott Allen and Masood Hussein. Um, let's see here. Lead tester. I love this era. I love this era um, of game manuals because they actually, and I'm say this every time, but they actually talk about the testers. It's so nice. Jeff B. Junio, assistant leads Lorne Asuncion, Rick Greer, and Peter Young. These might all be like Bay Area folks if this is like the Saturn era Sega team. The testers are Ray Alvarez, Jason Bartholomew. That name is familiar. Steve Bourdet, Michael Dobbins, Essie Hamadani, Jen Lung, Caesar Lemus, Lemus. Thanks for joining. See you later. B. Lee, Dennis Lee, Chris Lusich, Tony Lynch, Mark McCunney, Abe Navarro, Sean Potter, Fred Selker, Tim Spengler, and Steve Thompson. Those are the testers. So it's a lot of testers. This is a game, and I'm going to go out on a limb as a one time QA tester myself. I'm going to go on a limb and say this game was probably fun as heck to test. I don't know if they were just testing like localization stuff, but if you're actually getting to test Fighting Vipers functionally, that would have probably been a pretty fun one because multiplayer stuff, couch co-op, couch not co-op, couch counter op, couch fighting games. That stuff is great with people, even if you are looking for bugs. So that was probably pretty cool. Um, we have a few minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and do something a little bit different here. If y'all are okay with it, I have been so taken and enjoyed so much the bit that I've played of the Goldmaster series, Llama Soft, the Jeff Minter story. um, I'm only on sort of the second area of it, really just starting to get into the Commodore 64 era. So pretty early, but I have been absolutely loving it. As usual, Digital Eclipse. If anybody from Digital Eclipse is listening, thank you. You all make the most incredible stuff on the planet. This is like my when like this is like my kind of game. I love this stuff so much. And you can see the beginnings of all this personality in Jeff Minter's games from the jump. It's really exciting. I don't know anything about Jeff Minter, so it's all new to me, including especially, and I'm going to be reading this off my phone, so I apologize, a game called Hover Bovver. Hover Bovver is a game about being a lawnmower guy who goes to his neighbor's house, borrows his neighbor's lawnmower without telling him, and then has to evade his neighbor while his neighbor angrily chases him down, demanding his lawnmower back. It is extremely great, very silly, and a really early manual with lots and lots of personality. I could be wrong. This is from before my era. This is like 1982, so I wasn't born yet. But my read on the era is that the manuals weren't always that much fun, but this one is. So I'll read a little bit from Hover Bovver, and I'm going to be doing it on my phone, so not the most exciting visual. But summertime in England, and all across the land lawns are growing, and men's thoughts turn to mowing. So it was with Gordon Bennett. But when he went to investigate, he found to his dismay that his cylinder mower had rusted into a heap of junk. No problem, he thought. I'll pop round and borrow Jim's air mow, for of course borrowing the neighbor's mower is a traditional aspect of English suburban life. So Gordon popped round to Jim's house, abstracted Jim's mower, and began mowing his lawn. Unfortunately, Jim has decided he wants his air mow back, and no sooner has Gordon begun his task than Jim sets out in hot pursuit, intent on retrieving his mower. Your task is to guide Gordon Bennett on his mowing mission, trying your best not to annoy your dog Rover or the gardener, and avoiding your neighbor's unwelcome attentions. Um, you maneuver Gordon and his air mow using the joystick. Your task is simply to mow the green areas on the lawn displayed on the screen. However, certain things occur as you attempt to mow. These are as follows. So there's like hedges you have to avoid. There's your bad neighbor, your angry neighbor, all that. And I am trying to uh there's different points that you can earn. And I like one, you have your dog, you don't want to annoy your dog. Sorry. So the way that your dog's annoyance is measured in the game is by a meter called dog tolerance. And should Rover hit the mower, you will be forced to do an emergency stop, and as a result, your mower will overheat. You will be immobilized and must wait until the mower overload scale cools down to the yellow sector. All dog tolerance is also lost. So I appreciate the phrase dog tolerance. So that's it for me. I'm starting to cough. I'm gonna get going. Thank you so much for popping in and hanging out. And I had a lot of fun. I apologize for not being able to read the chat, but yeah, the immowerize, immowerize. I'm gonna work on that one. I think you're right. There is a way place for an immowerize joke somewhere. We have to back into it. So maybe that's our task for the day. Backing into that joke. I think we can get to it. But I'm gonna go before this gets real ugly. I I got to go to work and I got to do meetings. I've really probably blown it. I will see you later. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Bye. Oh God.